Ready for the final frackin' episodes of BSG? You will be. Here's what's happened so far. On the planet Caprica, a crusty old battlestar named Galactica is being retired as a kind of museum. A battlestar is like a great big aircraft carrier, but instead of airplanes, they've got Vipers and Raptors and other cool spaceships.
No frackin' way!
Here, frack is a swear word, papers don't have corners, and there's more than one god.
My gods.
The guy in charge is Commander Bill Adama. He's ready to pack it in when a phone with a cord rings. It's the Cylons.
We are at war.
Cylons were robots invented by humans to use as slaves. Over time, they evolved. Now there are 12 humanoid models. Some actually look like models. The crew on Galactica snaps to action. Starbuck is a hotshot Viper pilot. Apollo is Adama's son. Commanding Officer Ty is drunk and thinks the attack is a joke, but it's not.
Damn it.
A school teacher named Laura Roslin steps up to the plate. They make her the president.
Except...
On Caprica, Boomer and Hilo have to decide who stays and who goes. Hilo gives up his seat to Gaius Baltar, a brilliant scientist who could save the human race. But it turns out Baltar was having an affair with the hot Cylon. And he's probably the one responsible for all the exploding things. Now he thinks he sees her everywhere, and it's driving him mental.
No.
The last survivors of the human race join up in a ragtag fleet of ships, following the Galactica through space, where cameras have a difficult time keeping up. Adama tries to give the people some hope by talking about a mythical planet they've only heard about in ancient scrolls.
And Earth will become our new home.
The people are happy. But then he says, what the frack? A Cylon called Leoben shows up on Galactica. Adama kills him, and Roslin tells everyone.
Cylons look like us now.
And now they think Boomer's a Cylon. Turns out they're right, and just like all Cylons, there's a whole bunch of Boomers. Hilo's still stuck on Caprica, getting chased by Cylon Centurions, the big metal robot models that were made to kick ass. One of the Boomer Cylons helps him.
Can you walk?
They frack Cylon style and her spine lights up. Roslin tells Apollo that she has cancer but wants to keep it a secret. She takes an herbal drug that makes her see things. It helps them find another Leoben on one of the ships, and this one's got a thing for Starbuck.
Coma will lead you to Earth.
Roslin has him thrown out the airlock. Colonel Ty's wife Ellen comes aboard. They get drunk and make out. Baltar is elected vice president. His imaginary girlfriend seems happy.
We're going to do great things together.
Down on Caprica, Hilo realizes Boomer's a Cylon, so he shoots at her. But Boomer says,
I'm pregnant.
this is a big deal because Cylons can't reproduce alone. The Boomer on Galactica is catching on to the whole Cylon thing. She wants to kill herself, but Adama sends her on a dangerous mission instead.
I can do it, sir.
She accepts and flies a Raptor straight into a Cylon base star. Multiple Boomers can only mean one thing. Sorry, Boomer. Roslin starts dreaming about the planet Cobalt, the birthplace of all mankind. She tells Adama she wants to open the tomb of Athena, one of the gods. She thinks it'll help point the way to Earth. Adama thinks she's crazy.
They're just stories.
Starbuck and Apollo like each other, so they beat each other up. Roslin orders Starbuck to go to Caprica and get an arrow that'll open the tomb of Athena.
You can't be serious.
Adama gets angry and throws Roslin in the brig, but Starbuck's already gone. On Caprica, she finds the arrow and a number 6.
Pretty, isn't it?
Girl fight. Hilo and pregnant Boomer show up, and Starbuck realizes Boomer's a Cylon.
No!
But then Hilo tells Starbuck there's a bun in the toaster. Back on Galactica, the other Boomer returns from the base star mission. Then she shoots Adama and everyone goes nuts. Bad Boomer. They throw her in the brig. Adama's in pretty rough shape, leaving Colonel Ty in charge.
You dare die on me?
Roslin talks her way out of her cell and gets back to business. And eventually Adama wakes up and returns to command.
Back to work.
But not before Bad Boomer gets Jack rubied by Callie. On Caprica, Starbuck and Hilo argue about Good Boomer. But then Starbuck meets Anders, the leader of the anti-Cylon resistance. Starbuck can't resist. The Cylons attack and Starbuck gets shot. She's taken to a creepy baby factory where Simon the Cylon steals her ovary. But Starbuck is badass, so she escapes. She leaves Anders on the planet.
I'm coming back.
And takes the arrow back to Galactica. Apollo is happy to see Starbuck. Boomer, not so much. But Roslin wants Good Boomer to lead them to the tomb of Athena. She takes the arrow and they go down to the planet Cobalt, where Adama and Roslin make up.
Thank you, Bill.
Starbuck puts the arrow in the sweet spot and bam, a map to Earth. Everyone is happy. A reporter named Deanna Beers boards Galactica to interview people. Guess who's a Cylon? The battlestar Pegasus catches up with the fleet and the two crews celebrate. Admiral Kane pulls rank on Adama.
Gives me no pleasure to have to take command.
Not true. Turns out she's a ruthless war criminal, and she ends up getting shot by a Six she'd been torturing.
Frack you. You're not my type.
Roslin promotes Adama to Admiral. He promotes her right back, but she still has cancer. So Boomer gives her a Cylon blood transfusion and it goes into remission. Apollo flirts with Duala at the gym. Then he and Starbuck almost hook up, but she can't get over Anders. So Apollo and Duala get cozy in the bunks. Then Adama makes Apollo commander of Pegasus. Tori tells Roslin to run for re-election, but Tom Zarek convinces Baltar that he could be president. The bad Boomer that Callie shot gets reborn in a goo bath, while Good Boomer gives birth to the half-breed. Roslin wants Doc Coddle to kidnap the baby, so Coddle tells Boomer and Hilo it died.
You murdered her!
But it didn't. Roslin just gave it to another lady for safekeeping. On Galactica, Chief worries he might be a Cylon, but Brother Cavil is outed instead. Roslin shows him the airlock. Starbuck mounts a mission to rescue the people left on Caprica. Anders is one of them.
What took you so long?
She brings him back to the fleet. Meanwhile, a Raptor finds a planet that people can live on, safe from the Cylons.
Well done.
It's not Earth, though. And Roslin's afraid if Baltar's elected president, he'll scrap the search for Earth. So she plays dirty.
I'm going to wipe the floor with you, Gaia.
She fixes the vote and gets busted. Baltar is sworn in.
Settlement begins now.
Suddenly it's 1 year later. Baltar's a lame president and New Caprica sucks. Starbuck has long hair and is married to Anders. Chief and Callie have a baby, and Adama's grown a mustache. Galactica and Pegasus are on Cylon watch, orbiting the planet, when the new Mrs. Apollo picks up the Cylon fleet.
Oh my god, we found it.
Both Battlestars fold, and Baltar surrenders while the Toasters take over. Starbuck says,
Fight them until we can't.
the Cylons claim they want peace, but it's more like an occupation, and the people are pissed. Ellen uses her influence on Cavil to free Colonel Ty. Leoben still has a crush on Starbuck, even though she keeps killing him. Cylons are diehards, literally. Anders and the Chief start an insurgent group. While back on Pegasus, Apollo just gets fat waiting for something to happen. President Baltar is forced to sign a death order, and Roslin and Zarek get loaded up to be executed. It looks grim until Good Boomer does everyone a solid and steals the launch keys to the grounded ships. Galactica returns, and the colonists evacuate New Caprica.
Adama's back.
Adama is a hero. Roslin is president again. But Colonel Ty has to poison his wife for conspiring with the Cylons. Very sad. Baltar is being held on a Cylon base star with a Six and a Diana. Turns out the Cylons are also looking for Earth.
Decided that Earth's going to be our new home.
Scary. Apollo gets buff again and Starbuck cuts her hair. Everything's back to normal except Good Boomer wants to be called Athena.
Athena it is.
Oh yeah, and remember that year on New Caprica? Turns out Starbuck and Apollo hooked up.
I love Carrot
But Starbuck freaked out and married Anders the next morning.
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
So there's still tension between them, but they're working through it. On a routine mission, the Chief discovers the Temple of Five. It's related to the Eye of Jupiter, which really points the way to Earth. The Cylons call a meeting.
What do you want?
They offer to let the colonists go in return for the Eye of Jupiter, but Roslin and Adama think they're bluffing. Plus, they haven't found the eye yet. Bad Boomer tells Athena that Hera, the half-breed baby, is still alive on the Cylon base star. Athena makes Hilo kill her so she can take a goo bath and rescue her baby. At the Temple of Five, the planet's sun is about to go supernova. The Chief realizes...
The Nova is the Eye of Jupiter.
During the chaos, Diana sees the final five Cylons.
Give me we had no idea.
Then she collapses, and Baltar gets a bonk on the head. Everyone hightails it back to Galactica just in time, and the happy couples are reunited. Baltar gets thrown in the brig, and Athena returns with the baby, and a number 6. More goo, and Cavil says the Dianas are flawed, so he shuts them all down. Adama uses the supernova as a clue to find Earth, but Starbuck realizes she's been seeing the Eye of Jupiter since she was a kid. She visits an oracle who tells her she has a destiny. Starbuck and Apollo are back to being friends. She tells Apollo,
I'll see you on the other side.
and then... Very shocking.
No!
Everyone on Galactica is devastated, especially Anders. Roslin calls Baltar a traitor and wants to use the airlock again, but Adama says they should have a trial instead. So Baltar gets a lawyer and Apollo is put on security duty. The lawyer and Apollo drink and bond because Apollo wants to be a lawyer too. He argues with Adama and gives up his wings. Roslin and Athena have the same freaky dream. They go to visit Six and find out she's here to protect Hera, the baby. At the trial, Apollo questions Roslin about the crazy herbal drug she was taking, and she admits her cancer's back. Then Apollo goes on to list everyone's mistakes in a big passionate speech about justice, and Baltar's found not guilty. Colonel Ty, the Chief, Tori, and Anders start hearing all along the watchtower. No one else hears it, so they think they're going crazy. But then it makes them all meet up in a big room with heavy doors, and they realize they're not crazy.
We're silent.
And that's crazy. Taking a tip from the Eye of Jupiter, Adama is following a path to Earth, but they find a whole bunch of Cylons instead. Apollo's not a pilot anymore, but he grabs a Viper to join the fight. He looks out his window and sees Starbuck.
Don't freak out, it's me.
He freaks out.
Kara?
I've been to Earth, and I'm gonna take us there.